It's about what didn't happen for you. Maybe your parents never hit you. Great. But did they see you? Really see you? Or were you just another item on their to-do list? Maybe they provided for you financially. Awesome. But did they provide for you emotionally? Or did you learn that love was conditional, based on performance, achievements being good? Maybe they never screamed at you, but did they talk to you? Or did you grow up in a house where silence was the default, where feelings were treated like dangerous explosives that might go off if anyone acknowledged them? This is the programming you never asked for. These are the beliefs about yourself and the world that got installed in your mental operating system before you even knew you had one.
This is the evolution of Carry, the Ridge wallet. Let's see how it redefines your essentials. Elegantly minimal, incredibly secure, and for a limited time, upgrade your Carry for up to 40% off. This
Before you even knew you had one. And society wants you to just get over it. Move on.
Ragnar!
Stop living in the past. As if trauma follows a convenient timeline. As if damage done to a developing brain just evaporates when you turn 18 and legally become an adult. Bullshit. The wounds are real, the impact is real, and pretending otherwise is just another way of abandoning yourself, which, let's be honest, you probably learned to do very early on. The Kafka complex. When your family becomes your prison, Kafka understood something that most people spend their whole lives trying to figure out. Sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most become the architects of your psychological prison.
I know Arthur would not.
His father wasn't evil. He was just a man who believed that toughness was love, that criticism was motivation, that showing affection was weakness. Sound like anyone you know? But here's the twisted part. Kafka kept trying to win his father's approval even as an adult. Even when he was a brilliant writer. Even when he was creating masterpieces that would outlive them both. That's the trap. That's the programming. You spend your whole life trying to earn something you should have been given freely. Unconditional acceptance.
Pull off for a little bit.
I see this everywhere. Successful people who feel like frauds. Talented individuals who can't accept compliments. Adults who apologize for taking up space. People who have achieved everything they thought they wanted, but still feel empty inside. You know why? Because they're still that little kid, waiting for mommy or daddy to finally say, "You're enough. You matter. I'm proud of you." But here's the brutal truth. That moment might never come. And even if it does, it won't heal the wound. Because you're not that little kid anymore. You're the adult who has to learn to give yourself what you never received. The inherited patterns we don't see. Let me blow your mind for a second. Your parents damaged you the same way their parents damaged them. And their parents were damaged by their parents. It's trauma passed down like a family heirloom. Nobody wants, but everybody gets. Your grandmother's depression that nobody talked about, that became your mother's anxiety. Your grandfather's rage that he never dealt with, that became your father's emotional unavailability. And now you're walking around with all of it. Their unexpressed grief, their unhealed wounds, their unmet needs. Like you're carrying a backpack full of rocks that aren't even yours. Kafka saw this clearly. He wrote about bureaucratic systems that made no sense, about trying to navigate a world where the rules kept changing, where nothing you did was ever quite right. Sound like your childhood dinner table. The family system is often the first bureaucratic nightmare we encounter. The first place we learn that our needs don't matter as much as keeping the peace. The first place we discover that our authentic self might not be acceptable.
Oh my god, there's my dog.
And then we wonder why we struggle with boundaries as adults. Why we attract people who treat us poorly. Why we sabotage our own success.
No, I can't.
Why we feel guilty for being happy.
Now I got no hill.
It's not a mystery. It's programming.
God, I've been through
Bad
hell.
programming that was installed before you could protect yourself.
What's ugly to say?
The gaslighting of good enough parents.
My
Here's where
nerves
society
are
really screws you
shot.
over. The narrative that as long as your parents weren't physically abusive, as long as they put food on the table and kept a roof over your head, you should be grateful. You should shut up about your first world problems. This is gaslighting on a cultural level. Emotional neglect is real abuse. Having your feelings dismissed is real trauma. Being treated like an inconvenience in your own home leaves real scars. But because there are no bruises, because there's no dramatic story to tell, your pain gets minimized, even by you. Let me be clear. You don't need to have survived a horror story to have been damaged. You don't need to have been beaten or molested or abandoned to carry wounds that affect every relationship you'll ever have. Sometimes, the deepest damage comes from what looks like a normal family. The family that looks good from the outside but feels like emotional desert on the inside. Kafka's family looked respectable. His father was a successful businessman. They weren't poor. They weren't outcasts. But Kafka felt like he was suffocating his entire life because respectability isn't the same as love. Providing isn't the same as nurturing. Being present physically isn't the same as being present emotionally. The child within you is still waiting. Right now, as you're hearing this, there's a part of you that's still that little kid. Still waiting for someone to notice your pain. Still hoping that if you're good enough, smart enough, successful enough, someone will finally give you the love you needed then.
Oh, I gotta get my dog in
But
my
here's what
car
nobody
again.
tells you. That little kid isn't going anywhere until you acknowledge their pain. Until you stop dismissing their needs as childish or selfish or dramatic. That child within you has been trying to get your attention your whole life. Through your anxiety, through your depression, through your relationship patterns, through your self-sabotage. They're not trying to ruin your life.